Welcome students, welcome to my second part of my video, Standard 9th History, topic number 6, Empowerment of Women and Other Weaker Section. As we have already seen in the first part of the video, that women's contribution in freedom movement was very extensive. Though women were made to confine themselves in kitchen, take care of the husband or children, but there were few leaders who utilized women in the freedom movement. One was Vinoba Bhave, who used woman power in Bhudan movement. Gandhiji had faith in women, saying that women can play a vital role in freedom struggle. They are much more stronger than men. Women played a significant role in Telangana peasant armed struggle, which challenged the rule of the Nizam and the feudal system. We have seen Mrinal Gore. She took a lead role when there was price rise, scarcity of supply. All the women came on the road along with Mrinal Gore, and they carried out Latni Morcha, the rolling pin demonstration. Now, we could also see the Chipko movement, where they embraced the tree. They did not allow to cut the forest for commercial purpose. Chandi Prasad Bhatt, Sundarlal Bahuguna started this movement. We could also see Bachni Devi and Gaura Devi, who gave awareness to the women, and they took a lead role. We could also see anti-liquor movement in Andhra Pradesh, because when the men, they drink liquor, ultimately the woman of the house has to suffer because of addiction of alcohol. Their family faces serious crisis, which ultimately affects the woman. So women came on the road. There was one more incident in 1992, where 3 of the youths were drowned in the lake. So women came on the road and they started demonstrating, or they started opposing, saying that these local alcohol has to be stopped. And the entire movement spread, the movement spread entire state, and the government has to adopt strict policy against the sale of alcohol. Then we can see United Nations, they declared 1975 as the International Women's Year. In 1975, Government of India constituted committee on the status of women and appointed Dr. Fulreno Guha as its chairman. And they looked after the welfare of women. We could also see there was Stri Mukti Sangharsha Samiti, which looked after the rights of the woman. This Samiti published manifesto in 1978. They gave employment guarantee schemes to women to empower women. They had several branches in Delhi, and Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. We could also see the laws for women, polygamy, marrying more than one wife, became illegal, and the women, just like men, they could go to the court and they can file the petition for divorce. Not only for divorce, but also concerning women's issue. Awareness against dowry. As we all know, the Dowry Prohibition Act was passed, where they tried to curb the problem of dowry. But the laws were made, but it was not put into practice. Many women died because of dowry. At last, stringent actions were taken, the amendments were made, and it came into effect in 1984, from where giving dowry and taking dowry was considered illegal. We could also see family court. When I say family court, when both husband and wife, when they file a divorce case, they are taken to the family court under a counselor, and they try to patch up whatever the differences are. And if the differences in the marriage, if they cannot patch up, then the next step will be a divorce. But they try to patch up, they try to, bring them together a common platform where they could continue as a family. But if the issues are beyond the control and they cannot control it and they cannot justify it, then the last step or the extreme step was divorce. Now, as I told you in the first part, alimony, there was a case which was against Muhammad Ahmad Khan, Shah Banu Begum. She gave a case against Muhammad Ahmad Khan because he has filed a petition for divorce. And she said, okay, I am ready for the divorce, but I need money for my survival. However, there was some religious protest against this verdict. But at last, as a result, what has happened? Muslim Women Act Protection of Rights of Divorce was passed in the parliament. Now further, we will see the commission was set up against Sati Prevention Act. We all know our India used to always practice Sati. Sati means when a husband dies, the woman is supposed to die along with the husband. And in 1998, the government passed Sati Prevention Act, which was very stringent provision. Now, Protection of Human Rights, 1993, law was enacted to prevent injustice to men and women. The National Human Rights Commission was formed for that purpose. This law deals with collective oppression, social conditions of the divorced woman to secure workplace, insecure in workplace, played an effective role. You could also see reservations for women, 73rd and the 74th Amendment of the Constitution. 1/3 of the seats are reserved for women in Gram Panchayat, Zilla Parishad, municipalities, as well as the post for Sarpanch, Chairman and Mayor. Many states have reserved 50% seats for women. After independence, the Constitution of India accepted the principle of equality of men and women. Every woman has to be given right to education. Practice of sati, dowry and polygamy should be banned. Women got lawful share of the property. Women started to participate in all types of fields of education, politics and administration. Now we'll see, did you know? Demonstration was held in New York in 8th March 1857. It was the first demonstration by the working woman and demanding few working hours, proper remuneration of work and providing crutches for their children. 18th March 1909, women went on very same demands. That's why this day was known as Women's Struggle Day, 18th March 1909. So 18th March is considered as Women's Struggle Day. The year 1975 was observed as the International Women's Year. And in 1977, 1978, March was declared as the International Women's Day. Now we'll see the problems of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. As we all know, untouchability is banned. The practice of untouchability was banned by law. Untouchability was removed in the form of 17th paragraph of the Constitution, and the class was included in scheduled caste. In view of educational, social backwardness of these castes, they were given reservations in educational as well as jobs to facilitate their development. Scheduled tribes. Just like scheduled tribes, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes or Adivasis who live in a remote part of the country also faces several difficulties. They are living far away from the progress of the modern time. They are economically and socially backward. Adivasis in the remote area finds difficult to get medical attention on time. For these reasons, Adivasis were given special protection. In the Constitution, Adivasis have been enumerated as scheduled tribes, nomadic and denotified tribes. Caste and tribes that move from place to place for livelihood, they are included in nomadic tribes. They used to rear animals because it was a main occupation. The Britishers declared these nomadic tribes as criminals and they banned their occupation when the Britishers were there in India. This was removed after the post-independence period. This ban was removed and these tribes were included under denotified tribes. Special efforts were made for the development of denotified tribes. Now we are all familiar with the word called minorities. In a very simple word, we term minority to those people who are very few in number. As there are various religious sects and languages in our country, we see great diversity. In order to preserve the cultural tradition and develop their own language, the Constitution gives the citizen certain educational and cultural rights. Minorities have rights to protect and conserve their language and tradition. The government implementation of various schemes for their progress. Thank you, my dear students, for your patient hearing.